It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and it's time for another supermarket autumn release of their beers. We've had beers from Tesco's and Morrison's and Asda and Sainsbury's, and now it's the time, it's the time to show you the last beer of the autumn range that have come out end of September, early October, into all the supermarkets. It happens every year. They generally charge £3 or £3.50 a can, and this is Vocation Brewery's Double Tonka Frappe. It's a Tonka Latte Stout at 8% ABV, and when I put this through the conveyor belt of the supermarket, the lady picked it up and she went, "Ooh, that looks really interesting." And I said, "Ooh, why don't you give it a go? Why don't you give it a go when you pick it up?" And she said, "Oh, well, how much is it?" And I said, "Well, this one's £4 a can." She went, "Oh, £4 for a can of beer?" And that was it. I don't think she's going to buy one. I'm in a bit of a giggly mood. 8% ABV, 440 milliliter can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Described as sticky coffee and vanilla. In the old days, in old money, this would have been described as a Russian Imperial Stout. Because it was 8% ABV, it would automatically, in old money, oh God, I'm making a right mess. Damn. In old money, it would have been immediately classed as a Russian Imperial Stout because it's 8% ABV. Stouts from 3% to 7.5% are classed as stouts. In the judging world, in the kind of, like I said, the old money world, 8% ABV would be an Imperial Stout. So I'm going to call this a Russian Imperial Stout of some kind. One with coffee frapping and tonka beans. When tonka is used right in beer, it can be absolutely fantastic. I always remember the first time I tried tonka in beer was Lervig's 3-bean stout in Lichefjorden in Norway, and it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. Let's see if Vocation can blow my mind then. We got a 3-finger tan coloured head, nice pillowy head, jet black beer in the glass. Rolling the beer around, it's all very well behaved, it looks very nice. Carbonation chasing that head up the glass. Let's get the aroma. Now, the last time I reviewed a Vocation beer, I actually looked back on it and I actually titled the thumbnail of the video, "I am done with this stuff." And maybe I was a little bit too critical. I look back at that now and I go, "Oof, blimey, that was harsh." But I can only, I do everything spontaneous. It's all very spontaneous with me. I'll make a thumbnail straight after or during or pre how I feel. I might change my thumbnail. I think on that occasion, I changed my thumbnail because I was so passionate about the beer that Vocation decided to put out at that very time. It's a combination of many things. It smells a little bit like marshmallow. It smells a little bit, it smells very lactosey, very milky. Walked your dog in the middle of winter, come home, made yourself a nice cup of hot chocolate type of aroma, you know. There's, as I read the comments all the time, there's a lot of people that like it. There's a lot of people that like this milky hot chocolate feeling in beer. You definitely get some of the tonka bean. But I just like to bring a little bit of experience to the fore, that's all. That's all I'm doing. I mean, I think people tune in because they realise that I've drank nearly 10,000 beers, and they realise that there's once you kind of put all that in your memory bank, you can offer up some kind of fair judgment on the beer. I like my imperial stouts and stouts to be rich and bitter. There seems to be almost, especially with the supermarket stouts, there seems to be a forced, or let me rephrase that, not your Guinnesses or your Black Hearts or your Forge stouts, I don't mean them, they are your traditional stouts. I mean like your single can releases in the craft beer aisle of the supermarket. There seems to be a almost like an arm bending process, having your arm bent up behind your back and being waltzed out the nightclub, like it has happened to me on a few occasions, and thrown out the door type of thing. Face down in the pavement, you know. There seems to be a forced and it's not just Vocation. It's a lot of brewers of these stouts these days that are almost trying to change the mindset on what a stout should be. Stout should be sweet, not bitter. Let's dive in. Oh no. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself. That is so sweet. That is so sweet and sickly and with the added flavour of the tonka. It for me, it's horrendous. That is horrendous. That's triple bypass stuff, you know. That's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of those every week, you know, every couple of times a week. Flipping heck, it's like digging an early grave. We're living in a world these days of energy drinks. We're living in a world of sweet stout. It's not. I don't know. It's not. I watch people kind of vaping. I watch people vaping in one hand and drinking an energy drink in the other hand. And I'm looking at these people and I'm like, do you want to, like, have you had enough type of thing, you know? Have you had a guts full? What are you doing to yourself? We're living in a world of like, I can't understand how anyone would pick up this glass of liquid. I'm not even going to call this beer. Pick up this glass of liquid and think it's okay, and think, oh yeah, you know, this is good and wholesome. This is good and wholesome, and you know, absolutely horrendous stuff. It's like we've forgotten to look after ourselves. It's like we've forgotten, or we just don't care. Like to like eat your vegetables. Just like have a bit of, like, there's something's missing in today's society when it comes to like respect for your. No, some of you be shaking your head here. Blimmin' heck, he drinks every day and he eats chicken burgers in a microwave on his channel. Okay, I eat 1,000,000 packs of noodles. I'm not the greatest kind of I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but I do try and balance that with vegetables. You know, you never see me eating my tea, do you? It's mostly kind of vegetables and all sorts of other kind of nice things in my body. Your body's a temple. Your body's a temple. You should be treating your body like a temple. This is like... I'm going to have one more taste of this beer and the rest is going down the blooming sink. I am so pleased. I am so pleased to see the back of this supermarket release of beers. I'm so pleased. The channel will be going back to normal from now on. It will be going back to kind of like decent German lager, decent lagers from around the world. I'm not drinking that beer. I'm going to have one more taste. I'm going to do my best to describe what I'm drinking. That's got a ton. If it haven't, I'll be shocked. That's got a ton of sweetener. That is just it. It's not nowhere near a stout. It's sweetener, hot chocolate powder, tonka beans. And that's, oh look, they haven't put their ingredients on the side. Have they, malted barley, wheat, oats. Malted barley, wheat and oats. If you love this sort of thing, fine, crack on, enjoy. But I can't. I simply can't. And I'm glad to see the back of this autumn supermarket release of beers from every single supermarket, actually, from like Tesco, Asda, Morrison's and Sainsbury's. They've been mediocre at best. The best beers I bought this autumn in the supermarket have been from Aldi and Lidl, and they've been the Oktoberfest beers. This, for me, is undrinkable rubbish, and that's just my personal opinion. It's a 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.